Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to talk about what to do when you collect your paycheck. Okay, before we get into this video, if you have not watched my last video, I will highly encourage that you check out my last video pertaining to what is a financial pyramid and how to go about building your financial pyramid. After seeing that, it will give you a better perspective on your financial matters before we deep dive into this today. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, as we all know, there is this rule out there which states 50-30-20 budgeting rule. I'm sure with the internet, this information can be readily available. So in today's video, I'm going to share a bit more in depth on what is it and what do I feel towards this budgeting rule. Okay, so the first 50% we are going to be looking at needs. So what are needs? Basically, in a nutshell, the most important thing is your mortgage loan if you have your own property. If not, that will be your monthly rental installment. Okay, secondly, bills, your handphone bills, your internet bills, and of course for all working people in Singapore, taxes is something that we cannot avoid. Next, your monthly groceries, food, transport, all these are your necessities as well to take into consideration. Not to forget, monthly electricity, water bills, all these are needs as well. Okay, if you are someone who is just a fresh grad and new into the workforce, your student loan should be your priority to clear off, because we all know the interest rates is high, so it's definitely something that if you can clear, the earlier the better. So basically, in a nutshell, needs are obligations, your must-dos, the first thing that you should clear every month. Okay, so next, 30%, what are they? They are your wants. So basically, what are wants? Wants are basically stuff that you can live without. Okay, so what do I mean? For example, a branded over a non-branded item out there, this is definitely controllable and is a want. Okay, other than that, for convenience purposes, I will classify taking a Grab over public transport as a want. Do you know that taking a Grab is close to at least 10 times more expensive than a regular public transport? Okay, other than that, that I can think of is your favorite Starbucks drinks over a coffee shop coffee, or even better still, your homemade coffee. Going to restaurant over home cook or coffee shop. Basically, it's the cost of lifestyle. The lifestyle you want will dictate how much you allocate into this portion. Okay, so in my simple summary, that means things that you yearn for, things that make you uncomfortable but you do not have, but guess what? Those are things that you can live without for now. Lastly, 20% savings. To me, I feel that this is the most important aspect every month that we should look at. So what are they? They are our investment goals, our investment objectives, our insurance needs, our protection needs, our wealth accumulation needs, and our wealth preservation needs. Personal saving goals. I'm sure we all have personal saving goals. Be it, saving to buy your first iPad, saving to buy your first branded tie, or even a professional working attire. All these are personal saving goals, which I feel is important for your career. Milestone goals, which means short-term goals that you can visualize, be it saving for your first property, or even short-term goals that you want to achieve for yourself. All these are under this category. So in the nutshell, this is the reason why we are working so hard for, and I feel that this is the most important aspect. Think about it. If this aspect is actually the lowest compared to all the three categories, don't you think something is wrong out there? So before I deep dive into specific examples and scenario, let's look into our thought of the day. in today's thought of the day, do you know by saving $2,000 monthly in a disciplined manner and assuming a 7% per annum rate of return over the course of 20 years, if we were to do that regularly every month and assuming that the rate of return does not fluctuate, we would get an amount of 1 million after 20 years. Okay, so have a thought about it. Okay, let's continue with our video. So let me give you all some perspective on how I feel towards this rule. To me, I feel that every individual is different. Everyone is at a different life stage. So this 50-30-20 rule, although it forms a structure and foundation, I feel is too rigid. Think about it. What dictates us setting aside 50% into purely just needs? If we can allocate 30 or 40% into this portion, why not we channel more into the savings portion? That's just one of my thought process. So likewise, for your wants portion, who dictates 30% into wants? If I myself is fine with just spending 20% monthly on my wants, isn't that giving me more room to save for my future? So these are just my simple thought process. I'm not here to say that this rule is wrong, but this is just my perspective. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go into an example. Okay, assuming that today you are a 25-year-old fresh grad and you are single. Okay, your gross pay is $3,000. $3,000 does not go into your pocket. Every month you need to remember that you need to contribute CPF. Okay, so in a nutshell, that means government took it away from us.
You don't know better. I didn't give it to him. He took it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? No, he took it? You're Iron Man and he just took it?
Okay, apologies. It's just not my thought process when I think about CPF. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so with that taken into consideration, your gross take-home pay is $2,400. Okay, so if we were to use that rule to actually allocate respectively, you can see 50% will work out to be around $1,200, 30% $720, and lastly 20% only make up $480. Let me just give you an example. If you are a single fresh grad today, your handphone bills and your internet bills should work out to be around $100 to $150 monthly. Other than that, well, in Singapore, I think it's quite common for us to give allowance to our parents. So let's quote an average amount of $500. So let's take into consideration this $500 that you give to your parents monthly should cover a portion of your monthly food and lodging and your electricity and water bills, because your parents are the one paying for it when you are still living with them. So this portion should make up your needs. So you think about it, the total amount should be around $600 to $700 only. That is just half of this $1,200. Okay, think about it. Your 30%, $720 monthly, I feel is a huge amount. That will work out to be around $180 weekly for entertainment. Definitely $180 weekly is enough for me to have a good drinking session, and still enough to cater for my daily food and transport. Lastly, our last 20%, which I feel is the most important portion, we are only able to set aside $480. Don't you think that's too low and little for our dreams and future? So let me give everyone some perspective and my humble opinion and suggestion. If I'm a 25-year-old today again, this is what I will do with my monthly paycheck. 50%, same, handphone bills, allowance, I will channel at least the balance 10% out of here to savings. 30% once, $180 weekly for entertainment, I think good enough. I will channel at least 10% out of here as well. So guess what? With at least 20% out to our last most important portion, savings portion, we will have a doubling effect. We will have $480 times 2 every month. That will be close to $1,000 monthly for our savings goals and dreams. think about it. So with that in mind, this $960, I will actually separate them into two portions. The first portion, I will set aside for my short-term saving goals. If I'm someone who is still paying off my student loan, then of course, yes, that will be my priority. If I have something to save up for in the short run, like buying something that I need, be it an iPad or a tie, like what I mentioned earlier, yes, that will be my short-term savings goals. Other than that, the balance 50%, let's look at something fixed and disciplined for the long run. Those could be your long-term investments or savings goals. This is the portion which keeps our dreams alive and gives us a direction every month, every year. So to summarize up, $480 into non-lock-in savings instruments or to pay off your obligations. The last $480 or close to $500, let's look at something fixed, disciplined, one-way traffic just to in. Be it for investment, be it for savings for your long-term goals. Okay, for time's sake of this video, I will not go into the exact detail on how and what you can look at. But rest assured, in my upcoming videos, I will give you much more clarity in how you want to set aside for your long-term investment or saving goals. Okay, so with that, it comes to the end of my video today. So I hope it gives you some perspective in how to set aside your monthly paycheck better. Okay, it's never too late. So I hope that I can help someone out there. So if I'm able to do that, please like and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share with your friends, family out there, and feel free to drop in any form of feedback or comments. I'll definitely do my best to actually give you my few cents worth and take in all form of ideas, suggestions and feedback out there. Okay, so with that, thank you so much for today. Take care.